bro, I'm convinced, right, that we're all like all conscious people that are here, yeah. We've either died and respawned into a world that looks very, 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 very similar to the world that we used to live in, right? And we're somehow like convincing ourselves, or or it's like a simulation, right? And it's trying to convince us that this is like very similar to the old world that we used to live in, right? But it's not. And this place is hell. Yeah, it's the hell. I call it the hell simulation. This place is the hell simulation, bro. 1 second, there's a bit of a traffic situation happening. This is the hell simulation, right? And I'm convinced that, like, for the most part, this place is that, you know. And most conscious people, right, have had like NDEs and stuff like this, right? Yeah, and you know, it's plausible. It's very, very plausible. It can happen. It's almost like, considering that this notion is, we can't assume that this notion is an impossibility. Do you understand? We can't assume that for 1 second, because it's very plausible that this reality is actually a simulated hell that we live in, and somehow it kind of like portrays itself or mimics the world that we came from. Because I can't fathom how things that make zero sense or have made zero sense historically from the old world that we came from make perfect sense here. Like, to me, that's very, very crazy. Like, it's the ultimate crazy. Like, it's almost like we can't like, I don't even know how to explain it, man. It's like the ultimate crazy. It's the ultimate crazy, man. It's the ultimate crazy, because like, some of the things that like come across, you know, on the everyday news or whatever and stuff like that, it's almost like, and I made a video on how the reality wants it to be machine-like, because it's a machine, right? And it's almost like news and everything is so artificial now, yeah? It's so fake now. Politics is so fake. All of it is so fake. There's no substance in it, to the point where it's just like, what? Like, what is this? What the fuck is this? You know? But this is what's normal. Like, there are men in this reality that have decided to cut their dicks off at a crazy cost. I don't even know how they manage to pay for this stuff. Like, crazy cost, right? So that they can express themselves as women, right? And now they want to compete in women's sports, and people think that's okay. Like, I'm not being abrasive towards trans people or whatever. Like, do whatever you want to do, but why don't, if that's the case, right? Like, men cutting their dicks off to be women, why don't they create, like, with all the money and support and everything that they have behind them, and the NGOs and stuff like that, why don't they create their own trans sports league? Surely that would be more fair, right, and ethical. True or false? I don't know, man, because it's like some of the things that run in this place as normal, man. Bro, I don't know, man. I really, really don't know, man. I really, really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, don't know what's going on. You know, everything doesn't make sense here, man. Nothing makes sense here. And nothing makes sense here, man. Nothing. Like, the Dalai Lama was caught, yeah? He didn't even hide. Like, broad daylight, this guy stuck his tongue out and told a little boy to suck his tongue. Why have, and people still adore this guy as the leader of their religion. You guys should take him out and stone him for that. And then you have newspapers like The Independent and stuff like that trying to downplay it, like, oh, it's a greeting in Tibet where people stick their tongues out. Yeah, there's a difference between sticking your tongue out as a greeting and kissing a little boy in his lips, yeah? And also fully saying to the little boy, suck my tongue, yeah? There's a difference. Because if you're saying that's what the people of Tibet do, then you're lying. That's not true. People of Tibet don't do that. They do not do that as a greeting, okay? That's bullcrap. That's actual bullcrap. It's dog shit. It doesn't make any sense. But it's pretty crazy to me how low this place is, man. Like, you know, you have like Catholic priests that will come up, you know, story of like, oh, he's abused the X amount of boys, blah blah, and people still go to the church, like like what like, and they don't even get prosecuted. This is the beauty of it. This is how you know you're in hell, bro. They don't even get prosecuted. Let that sink in for a second. Like, they don't even get prosecuted. Nothing happens to them. They don't go to jail. Nothing's, oh, you know, he's in prison for 50 years or 100 years or whatever for, you know, doing pedophilia. Nothing. Oh, Rome would just say, oh, we'll talk to him and we'll deal with him. Nothing. They might say, oh, you're not a priest anymore. Give him some lessons on discretion. Man, this place is hell, bro. It's totally hell, man. It's actually hell. It's hell. It's hell. I've clocked. It's hell. It's hell, man. It's the bardos. You know, it's a very dark place. You know, children are being taught sex in schools. Sex education for children, preteen children. For what? These kids can't even solve basic maths. They don't even know how their penises work. Most of them still wee themselves and shit themselves. Right? Can't even clean their bottoms properly. But we want to teach them about erections and sexual feelings? Like, who sanctioned this? Man? Like, am I the only one? Because if other people can't see this, man, then that's really troubling. But the thing is, we live in a world where everybody's so chicken shit, you know, to speak out about anything. Everyone's like, oh, you know, is it, you know, people are okay with things that they shouldn't even be okay with. Like, it's not even, it's so unnatural. It's so unnatural. It's so unnatural. It's completely unnatural. And for the most part, like, I don't know, man. It's just totally crazy to me, man. Totally crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me, man.